crime genre has always been one of the most gripping in film and television, drawing audiences in with dark mysteries, shocking twists, and stories that keep you guessing until the very end. And with 2026 already delivering some seriously intense releases, there's no shortage of titles worth watching. Today, we're counting down some of the best crime thrillers of 2026 so far. So hit that subscribe button and let's get into it. Featuring the muscular Alan Ritchson, Motor City might be the most unique crime thriller movie we've seen in a very long time. He falls in love with a gangster's girlfriend, not knowing this might ruin his entire life. The gangster frames him for a crime he didn't commit, and he ends up locked away for years. If you've seen a crime film or two, you can guess what happens next. Full-blown revenge. When he finally walks free, he's coming back for the people who took his life away from him, and he plans to make every single one of them pay. It's one of those movies that have very few dialogues and delivers the whole experience through pure action and grit. Motor City also pays loving homage to gritty 70s crime movies, and when the violence finally erupts, it becomes an unforgettable watch.
면접 잘 봤어?
The Korean movie. No Other Choice turns the stress of job hunting into something hilariously dark. It stars Lee Byung-hun as a paper mill manager who's given 25 years of his life to the same company. Then, suddenly, he loses his job. Without income, he now has a family to support, bills to pay, and finding new work at his age isn't easy. Desperate, he comes up with a plan. If he can't get his old job back, he'll get rid of the competition instead, one by one. It sounds simple at first, almost funny even, but as his plan moves forward, things get darker and more twisted. If you're after one of the best crime thriller movies with a twisted sense of humor, No Other Choice is definitely your next watch.
You're about to break every rule you've ever lived by. What makes this job different?
In an era heavily dependent on CGI, Crime 101 is a refreshing crime thriller that brings all the best tense moments you could expect from a top-tier epic. The story follows Los Angeles jewel thief Mike Davis, played by Chris Hemsworth, who has spent years pulling off high-value robberies along the iconic Highway 101 without being caught. However, his controlled routine begins falling apart when Detective Lou Lubasnik, played by Mark Ruffalo, becomes convinced that the same lone thief is responsible for a series of unsolved heists.
I think all of these are the same guy, and he hits every time along the 101 freeway.
When Mike begins planning one final job involving insurance broker Sharon Combs, played by Halle Berry, an unstable criminal played by Barry Keoghan, enters the picture and threatens to turn his precise operation into something far more dangerous. The movie begins with a typical police thief chase, but it's the tension and slow build that'll keep you entertained till the end.
Careful. I don't need to be careful. You be fucking careful.
Wasteman follows David Johnson as Taylor, a prisoner who is close to getting parole. He's kept quiet and stayed out of trouble for years just to reach this point. But everything changes when he gets a new cellmate named Dee, played by Tom Blyth. Dee is reckless and mixed up with dangerous people inside the prison. Slowly, he pulls Taylor into gang violence that Taylor tried so hard to avoid. With freedom finally within reach, Taylor has a tough choice to make. Does he protect himself, or does he risk it all to stay loyal?
To have a little accident. You get me?
I just want to see my boy again.
Wasteman is a very emotional story about survival behind bars. It shows how hard it can be to stay on the right path in a place built to test you at every turn. The bond between the two men drives the whole story forward.
Everybody got a target tonight. Everybody come along for the ride.
Netflix's Apex was crowned one of the biggest streaming hits of 2026, ranking number 7 among the year's top 10 most watched crime thriller movies. We follow Charlize Theron as Sasha, a woman who goes on a solo trip through the Australian wilderness. She's trying to find peace after a painful loss in her life, but her trip quickly turns into a nightmare. Taron Egerton plays a dangerous man who has turned this wild land into his own hunting ground, and Sasha becomes his next target. With almost nothing to protect herself, she has to survive both the harsh terrain and a killer who won't stop chasing her.
We make a good team, don't we, eh?
Egerton's incredible performance as an insane villain and Theron doing genuine physical stunts makes Apex one of the best survival thriller movies to watch. The Furious is a high-octane martial arts action thriller directed by legendary action choreographer Kenji Tanigaki. The story follows Xie Miao as a mute handyman whose life is turned upside down when his daughter is kidnapped. She's taken by a trafficking ring that has corrupt cops helping them, so going to the police isn't an option. With nowhere else to go, he teams up with a journalist who has been investigating the ring on his own. While investigating, Miao reveals a surprising side of himself. He knows hidden martial arts skills from a past he left behind long ago. From here, the brutal fight to save his daughter and expose the corruption begins. Joe Taslim and Xie Miao's incredible martial arts showdown makes Furious the most action-packed movie that we've seen in decades. Caroline is a highly entertaining romantic crime thriller that plays out like a modern-day Bonnie and Clyde across the American Southeast. The story follows Samara Weaving as Caroline, who's stuck in a boring life at a gas station in a small Texas town. She's raised by her dad since her mom left when she was a baby. One day, she catches Oliver, a thief pulling a clever money scam at her store. Without turning him in, Caroline gets interested in his wild lifestyle and decides to hit the road with him. They go on a reckless journey across the American South, pulling off small hustles and bank robberies while searching for Caroline's lost mother. However, with their growing crimes, their relationship started to crack under violence and pressure from law enforcement.
Human behavior is a system, and if you know that, then you can exploit that system.
Samara Weaving continues to improve with every film, and once again, she is impossible to take your eyes off. Kyle Gallner is equally impressive. His charisma and chemistry with Weaving makes this movie an entertaining watch.
I'm a goddamn national hero, and don't you forget it!
Based on a true story, Dead Man's Wire is Gus Van Sant's boldest crime thriller movie yet. On February 8, 1977, Tony Kuritzis played Bill Skarsgård, walked into Meridian Mortgage in Indianapolis to renegotiate his loan with the company's owner. When that didn't work out, he took Richard Hall, the owner's son, hostage. After hijacking a police car, Kuritzis took his hostage back to his apartment and held him at gunpoint for 63 hours straight. During that time, Tony aired his grudges in a series of radio and television interviews. He made a convincing argument that he was another victim of a corrupt system, where the rich got richer and regular people got abused. For some, he became a folk hero.
Just apologize for what you did. Just apologize.
No, Tony, no.
Stay strong, Richard.
You'll definitely spot Al Pacino playing Richard's father, the company owner, while Skarsgård delivers an incredible performance as usual. The film starts slow but gradually finds its footing, making it highly recommended for true crime fans.
And I don't want to start a witch hunt.
They kill children here, Leopold.
Following up on the hit thriller, Colors of Evil, Red, the Polish crime mystery, Colors of Evil, Black continues the dark journey of prosecutor Leopold Bilski. Both films are entirely self-contained in terms of plot, so watching them in order isn't absolutely necessary. Prosecutor Leopold gets sent away to a small Polish town as punishment for how things went down in the first film. He's barely settled in when a young boy goes missing, and he finds the disappearance is linked to an unresolved case from years ago. While investigating, he realizes the town's wealthiest family, the police, and even the church have all been hiding ugly secrets for decades.
Was someone who might have been molesting the girls and boys in the choir.
I am officially telling you not to go near the church.
The small town setting mixed with local myths and even a vampire legend gives the entire story an eerie feeling, making every discovery feel more unsettling than the last.
I wonder who's next. Sorry,
How to Make a Killing is a dark comedy crime thriller directed by John Patton Ford that serves as a modern retelling of the classic 1949 British comedy Kind Hearts and Coronets. Glenn Powell plays as Beckett Redfellow, a man who grows up without a dime despite belonging to a billionaire family that disowned his mom. After discovering a legal loophole, he realizes that if every other heir in line suddenly disappears, he can inherit a huge $28 billion fortune. Determined to claim what he feels he's owed, Beckett sets out to eliminate his wealthy relatives using wildly creative methods.
Wait,
Who are you?
I'm back in.
This movie definitely has sharp comedies like Knives Out or Saltburn. While it didn't quite live up to its classic source, Glenn Powell's magnetic performance and clever humor makes it an entertaining watch. Peaky Blinders. The Immortal Man continues the legacy of Tommy Shelby, a truly generational character brought to life by Cillian Murphy. From the very beginning of Peaky Blinders, it always felt like something special, largely because of Murphy's immense talent and presence. The story picks up 6 years after the show ended. Haunted by his past, Tommy is hiding in a remote country house with his only companion, Johnny Dogs. It all changes when his sister Ada shows up with bad news. His son Duke, who's now running the Peaky Blinders, has gotten mixed up with the Nazis. Set during the Birmingham bombing in 1940, the story follows a Nazi plan to flood Britain with fake money to crush the economy. Cillian Murphy and Barry Keoghan shine together as father and son, bringing incredible tension to the screen.
Perhaps someone should explain to him who I am.
Rebecca Ferguson and Stephen Graham also delivered exceptional performances as supporting cast, making it a satisfying ending for one of history's iconic shows. After Nobody, Bob Odenkirk kicks butt again in a movie called Normal and absolutely nails the one man against an army role. He plays Ulysses, a tired sheriff who takes a temporary job in a small Midwestern town called Normal. He's hoping for a quiet break from his troubled personal life. But that changes fast when a bank robbery goes wrong and he gets to see a massive amount of money and ammunition stored in the bank's vault, which is very uncommon to see in a small town like this. Before he could even realize, he's in a fight for survival against a dangerous Japanese Yakuza gang.
What is wrong with you people?
Overall, it's an action-packed thriller, with a good bit of humor mixed in. It's not Odenkirk's best, but if you are a fan, you'll definitely find it entertaining. So that wraps up our list of best crime thriller movies of 2026 so far. Which one are you watching next? Let us know in the comment section below.